These past few mornings I was waking up to the white frosty rooftops and the thick blanket of fog outside my window. It looks like it's here, the first sign of winter. I can't say that I'm particularly happy about its early arrival, especially after an unusually warm autumn and equally unusually cold summer. But all happens as it's intended, or at least in this case, inevitably, as there is nothing we can do about the weather. But there is a lot we can do about our own perception of it. I can't help it but want an abundance of cozy, relaxed moments and nights in instead of going out too much. I have to search for the little things, small activities to make myself occupied with inside of my home. I light too many candles, add too many spices into my food and drinks, make hot chocolate, read books in a dimly lit room whenever I can. Perhaps this cold, frosty night marks the arrival of something beautiful. I am going to slowly start transitioning into festivities. Just a week ago, I was in such a denial of Christmas, but I think I'm slowly warming up to the idea of it. I'm not rushing though, and going to transition as slowly as nature does. In the morning and at night, it's winter, but despite the frosty mornings and wintry nights, autumn shines in its last glory still. Most trees are barren. The cold has nipped the last of the autumn leaves overnight. Only the sturdy, solemn oaks are still standing in their full glory. I stand quietly by them as the faint wintry sun shines playfully through the golden leaves. I haven't visited my secret garden for a while now. Last time I walked these paths was when the bluebells were yet to bloom. I remember how lush it was and varied in its foliage, so this seemed to me like the perfect place to go to forage for some evergreens for my Christmas ornaments. I was right. I found cypress trees, pines, holly, and weeping willows. I will try to make my own handmade decorations this year. I'm not really the best at crafts, but I like to try. I follow my own schedule based on my own feelings. When the frost hit us for the first time a few days ago, I could suddenly smell winter in the air. And by the way, did you notice how every season has its own distinct scent? Winter smells icy cold, crisp, clean, with aromas of chimney smoke and firewood. How lovely is it to wander at the edge of seasons, feeling and experiencing both at the same time. I collected enough branches for a big lush wreath this year. I only tried making it once before, and to be completely honest with you, I failed miserably. I always set big goals for myself, quite often failing to achieve the result I initially envisioned. You know, the artist in me sees it so perfectly in my head, but I lack experience turning my vision into reality. This is where I have to remind myself to keep trying anyway. It can be quite disheartening when your artistic endeavors don't quite come out as you've planned. And so easy to say, that's it, if I can't do it to my standards, I'm not going to pursue it anymore. But that's the key, perseverance. Failing so many times, but doing it anyway for the enjoyment of the action, of the process, rather than the result. And you know what? The result will eventually follow. All we see is successful artists, but behind each of them are years and years of mistakes. Everything takes time. Right, this little Christmas wreath story wasn't meant to be so serious. Anyway, I am pretty pleased with how this wreath turned out, even though it's not nearly perfect. Thank you for watching, and see you again soon.